here's the big question. How are entrepreneurs like us, who have been hustling and struggling to make it to success, who seem to make it one step forward only to fall 2 steps back, who are dedicated, determined, and driven? How do we finally break through and win? That is the question, and this podcast will give you the answers. My name is Brian Kelly, and this is the Mind, Body, Business Show. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Mind, Body, Business Show. Oh, we have another wonderful, amazing, and very unique show lined up for you again tonight. I love what I get to do because I meet the most amazing, successful people on the planet. I interview successful entrepreneurs from all over the world. They come from all different walks of life, all different religious backgrounds, races. All of this never mattered to me personally. What mattered to me in an individual was their integrity, their value systems. Are they in alignment with mine? Beyond that, age, gender doesn't matter to me. I mean, we are all brothers and sisters in this life, in my humble opinion. And we have a wonderful, amazing guest coming on. Woo, I cannot wait to introduce you to Chara Rodriguera. She is an amazing young woman coming all the way from the east side of our country in New Jersey. I am on the west. We are spanning the United States tonight. The Mind, Body, Business Show is a show that I had developed with you in mind. And what does that mean? This show is here for you as the businessman, as a businesswoman, the entrepreneur, the person that's looking to make it to the next step, the next level in their business. And what I do is I interview the best of the best on this show. And when they come on and they reveal their secrets to their success for their achieving those levels, then all you need to do is simply take notes. And when you're done with taking the notes is simply to take action. And that is it. It's that simple. Because why reinvent the wheel like yours truly has tried to do so many times over the years? I finally gave up and said, I didn't give up. I gave up on doing it myself. And I said, it's time to shift and try to get help. And that's what I did. And that was a success. That was the mode of success for me personally, was to get the ego out of the way. And that's why I have this show here together. So please, if you're watching this live, do pay attention and take copious notes. And if you're watching this as a recording, the same thing holds true. Watch it as if it's live. Listen to it as if it's right now, and right here. I said right now twice. That's pretty good. Very emphatic. I can't talk today. So that's why we have guests on this show, because Chara can talk much better than me. No kidding. The Mind, Body, Business Show, it is here for you. It is about the 3 pillars of success. People that I have studied over the years that are successful had these 3 key elements figured out. Mind being mindset. To a person, these very successful people have a very positive, yet most importantly, flexible mindset. Also, body. They literally take care of themselves nutritionally and through physical exercise. And then business is very, very multifaceted. It involves mastering key skill sets like marketing, sales, team building, systematizing, leadership, and I could go on and on and on and on. And the good news is, as you'll find out if you follow this show for any length of time, is that you do not have to master every single skill set. In fact, if you master just one, because let's face it, mastery takes a long time. If you just master one, the rest can be easily leveraged into place. And that one skill set is, if anyone wants to know, let me know. I'm not going to make you wait. It is a skill set of leadership. Yes. Once you have mastered that skill set, you can now bring in the individuals who have mastered those skill sets that you have yet to, or you may never master. Because let's face it, we only have so much time on this planet to master so many things. And that's good news. And with that, another thing I found with very successful people is they are always very avid readers of books. And with that, I like to segue into a very quick segment that I affectionately call bookmarks.
Bookmarks. Born to read. Bookmarks. Ready, steady, read. Bookmarks. Brought to you by reachyourpeaklibrary.com.
And yes, Chara Rodriguera is coming on very, very soon. I I promise. Right after this, reachyourpeaklibrary.com. A quick word of advice for those of you watching live, even if you're listening on the recording or watching the recording. And that is to, instead of going and clicking off to something like reachyourpeaklibrary.com, instead of typing it in your browser, instead of going and visiting it while the show is going on, I implore upon you to instead just write it down. Write it down, take notes, get used to that old habit of writing, write them down and visit them after the show is over, because I'll guarantee Chara is going to have some things for you that you're going to love and you're going to want to go check out. Wait till the show is over, because I say this all the time from stage, and that is the magic happens in the room. Now you can understand that, being intelligent viewers and listeners, that this is not a live room setting, but it's about focus. And if you're focused on the content, you won't miss potentially that one golden nugget, that one smart bomb that Chara brings forth that could change your life forever. I would hate for that to happen. So all I ask is that you stay focused. And by the way, I'm running the show, I'm interviewing the show, and I'm also taking notes myself. So I never ask anyone to do that I myself would not do myself. I said myself twice there too. I love the repetition. Repetition is the key to mastery, as you know. So Reach Your Peak Club is a website I literally had developed by my team with you in mind. This is literally like a gift. And I don't mean that in a pompous way at all. I didn't start reading myself until about the age of 47. That was 11 years ago. All right. You did the math. You know it. All right. We're out there. And I started cataloging the books that I had read that actually had a profound impact in either my business life or my personal life, or even both. And I started just having them thrown in here. They are not in any order of any kind. I'll tell you that right now. So scroll through, find the first book that jumps off the page. You can get it from this site. You can go to your favorite Audible. I get mine from Audible. Those buttons all go to Amazon. I think Audible is an option there too. This isn't for making money. This is for giving you resources that will definitely help you to propel yourself farther into that area of success that you want and that you deserve much, much faster. That is Reach Your Peak Library. And speaking of propelling yourself into the realm of success, it is time, ladies and gentlemen, for the amazing Chara Rodriguera. Here she comes.
It's time for the Guest Expert Spotlight. Savvy, skillful, professional, adept, trained, big league, qualified.
And there she is, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, it is the one. It is the only Chara Rodriguera. Woo, yes. Welcome to the show, Chara. How are you doing?
Thank you, Brian. My heart is bursting. I am so excited to be here with you and your audience today.
Ooh, this is going to be so much fun. Oh my gosh, the comments are flying already. Oh yes, look, we got to hit some of these. Tanya Bugby, hello, looking forward to the show from LinkedIn. Tim Gillette, great friend of mine, who said hello to me and then said amen. I love that. Joel Solomon, I love repetition's key to mastery. Yeah, Joel, thank you, brother. He's been throwing amazing guests my way to come on the show. I appreciate that, Joel. And Katrina Ferguson, Chara is a goddess. I think you must know her. Yes, that's a great thing. I love it. And maybe you don't. Maybe you just put it off that way and everybody knows it by virtue of you just being here. And Joel is saying hello to both of us. Hey, Joel, great to see you, buddy. All right. Real quick, before I jump in and give you that formal introduction that you so richly deserve, we got a little what I call housekeeping. It could be more aptly coined as bookkeeping, because we want to put some, I'll just say it. We're just going to throw some ads up. Stay with us. Don't go anywhere. I promise we'll be back with the great Chara Rodriguera. Here we go. Hey, if you're watching the Mind Body Business Show live right now, then you will have the ability to win a 5-night stay at a 5-star luxury resort of your choosing, compliments of the Big Insider Secrets. What is it? It is a 5-night vacation stay to one of many destinations across the world. You can see as we go through this very quickly, there's some in Branson and Daytona Beach. These are in the United States, all over the United States, New Orleans, San Diego. There's also Mexico. There's also the UK and Argentina. I mean, it just keeps going on and on and on. Australia. At the end of this show, you will be given the ability to enter to win. You must be watching this live. If you're not watching live, then head on over to themindbodybusinessshow.com and register to receive automated notifications when we go live the next time. We do not spam. We do not even pitch any products or anything from that notification. It's just simply a way for you to know that we're live, and now you can join us, and you can also participate in this incredible prize, and you do not want to miss this. So come on live, and you do not want to miss a moment because of our incredible guest experts, and we will reveal that at the very end. And if you're struggling with putting a live show together and it's overwhelming and you want a lot of the processes done for you while still enabling you to put on a high quality show and connect with great people and grow your business all at the same time, then write this down: carpetbombmarketing.com. Then head on over to it after the conclusion of tonight's show. Carpet Bomb Marketing. Saturate the marketplace with your message. And to get a free lifetime membership to a phenomenal resource called the Reach Your Peak Club, your free membership will include instant access to deep discounts on major software, services, and top shelf training courses that you need to run your successful business. Think of it as your entrepreneur discount house. Catapult your business to the next level. Sign up for free now and get a hotel discount card worth $200 just for joining. Then go and grab your deep discount. So write this down, and then after the show, once again, head on over to reachyourpeakclub.com. All right, now let's get back to the show. Oh my goodness gracious, please, for the love of you know what, let's get back to the show. That guy talked forever. I don't know who that was. Oh, all right. Now here we go, officially introducing the amazing Chara with the heart of a mystic and the mind of a luminary. Chara is a natural-born inspirer. Since 1997, Chara has been a teacher of yoga, meditation, mindfulness, and inspired living. She shares empowering messages and practices that will help you live with greater awareness, skill, peace, joy, and love. Oh, yes, bring it down. As the creator of Soul Path Yoga and the Optimal and Dream Life programs, Chara has spent the last 25 years guiding others to step into their full potential and onto their authentic path. Her extensive training and experience also includes specializing in relaxation exercises. Oh, a little birdie told me we might be doing something similar to that. Mind mastery techniques and effective ways to reprogram the mind for success. Right down our alley. You could say Chara is a facilitator of dreams coming true. Known for her intuitive, poetic, and loving style, Chara inspires people all over the world to shine their divine light, live their unique magic, and honor their authentic path. Ladies and gentlemen, the one and only Chara Rodriguera. Welcome to the show, officially, formally. Finally, we get to listen and hear your wonderful voice. How are you doing? Once again, Chara, we're going to have some fun tonight.
Thank you, Brian. So excited, so excited. You guide the way, and I'll share.
Yeah, and I can't wait to hear everything about your background. What I like to open the show typically with is the first word of the show's title, and that's mind, because I have found that to be the baseline, the cornerstone, the foundation of all of our respective either level of success or lack thereof. And I always love it when I bring on someone successful such as yourself to find out what it is that's going on in your big, beautiful brain every morning when you get up. Like when you get up and being an entrepreneur and running a business of any kind, it is not the simplest of tasks. In fact, there are many, many obstacles one must overcome. And that's why so few of us do what we do as entrepreneurs. It is not easy. So with you, when you get up in the morning, what is it going on in your beautiful brain that's keeping you driven, keeping you excited and passion and always energetic toward your desired outcome? What is that going on in your brain when you get up, knowing what faces you that day?
Yes, great question, Brian. And besides being an entrepreneur, I am also the mom of 13-year-old and 11-year-old boys. So there is a lot going on in this mind. How do you keep it calm? How do you focus it? Exactly the question that you asked. So a couple things, and I want to share these things, but I'm going to start with meditation. And I want everybody to pause. Don't run away, because I have some things to say about this. So I meditate every day. However, there are many versions and ways to meditate. There's infinite ways to meditate. It's not only sitting there and being still, because that is not going to work for some people. So there are moving meditations. There's present moment awareness meditations. There's walking meditations. There's action meditations. And we're going to do a non-traditional meditation a little bit later together. So meditating, and you can even think of it as just the practice of focusing your mind. And one thing I'm committed to is the practice of observing the thoughts and choosing or guiding the thoughts in a certain direction. Now that takes time. It takes practice, especially if you weren't trained to do that early on. Your thoughts are used to running the show. You're used to living in the thoughts in the stories as if that's the reality. So in my yoga classes, in my meditations, in the programs that I teach, we start to develop the practice of observing the thoughts, observing the mind, and then guiding and directing the mind to where we want it to go. We also align the mind with our heart. And as you start to do those practices, you start to feel so much calmer, so much more empowered, so much more in control of the direction your life is going and the results and the experience that you're having. So meditation and mind mastery techniques are one thing. When I wake up in the morning, I do a meditation and I read my own affirmation that I wrote for myself. And I also practice soul path yoga. And what makes soul path yoga unique is that each month we focus on one foundational principle that we apply when we're on our mat, but it's a principle that then you practice off the mat. It can be considered a mind mastery practice. So you're taking that practice off the mat, and the combination of these principles together create extreme integrity, which is a word you used right at the beginning that I absolutely love. It puts you, your mind, your body, your heart, and your business in integrity. So those are a few things. I could go on, but we'll pause there.
Oh, fantastic. And before we go on, if possible, scoot a little closer to the microphone. We're losing a little bit. Could hear it all. It was getting faint, and I said, we can't miss a word, not a word. I was like, come on, no. But we're all good. So yeah, integrity is big. I love that we're going to get to go through and experience this with you and by your leadership. I love anything and everything to do with mindset, because that was the missing link for me personally, not just in business, but in life. And what you're saying resonates so wonderfully well. I did a massive shift on my business model not too long ago, several years ago, and I've never been happier, because it was in alignment with, like you said, you want to make sure you're in alignment with your heart. And that's what that was. And I'm like, wow, I love getting up every morning. I love going through the arduous tasks that are always in front of you, because I know going through those gets me to what I love to do every day, the automation and the helping of people. And so it's just fantastic. So what you're saying is absolutely true. And the fact that you are here to be a vehicle to help others to achieve that, that's even better. So I hope those of you that are not, it if you're not there. If you're questioning whether you're there, then you're not there, I would say. So if you're even questioning, am I doing what I want to do, then you're probably not. But it's not up for you alone to figure it out. I'll bet you money that Chara might have some ways of helping extract that from you, with you, for you. So, my goodness. So what led you down this path, Chara? Give us a little background of yourself, if you don't mind. Like, when did this all start? And from where? Was there like an event in your life that took you down this path? And then you said, ooh, I like this. And also, ooh, I'm very good at this. I get a lot of results for people. So what got you started in this line?
Yes. Great question, Brian. So I'm going to quote one of my friends and colleagues who I think is listening live, Joel Solomon, who introduced us. And he always says, from bad things come good things, and from terrible things come amazing things.
Mm.
So the first 25 years of my life was like almost being in a different plane or dimension, because I was constantly stressed, constantly feeling anxious, constantly feeling self-conscious, feeling depressed, and not understanding why I was here or what this was all about, not feeling connected to this whole human experience. It was very painful for me. From very early on, it was just painful and weighed on my heart. And by the time I was 25, which was in 1995, like you said, you can do the math, audience. I was ready for a nervous breakdown. I was having pains in my heart and stress-related symptoms to the point where I couldn't function anymore. And I was even working in a job that I loved, which was production at the time, video and film. And that's what I thought I wanted to do. But I found it so stressful, I couldn't function. And someone mentioned yoga to me, and I didn't know anything about it. It wasn't mainstream. There were no yoga studios at the time. But I said, I'll try it. And fortunately, at the time, I was living in Summit, New Jersey, and I want to give out a shout out to some of the amazing teachers there: Claire Diab of the American Yoga Academy, Cara Clemme of Glow Yoga in Basking Ridge. These were some of my first teachers. And I remember a class, it was like my second class, and Claire was teaching, and she asked us to breathe. And not only did she ask us to breathe, she taught us how to breathe. Mm-hmm. I had gone 25 years, Brian, without ever in my life taking a deep, full breath. Like, no wonder my body, my mind was under so much stress and angst. I was barely breathing. And they say how you breathe is how you live. So I was barely alive. And I felt this ray. It was like a literal ray of light come into my heart. And from that moment on, I felt this connection to the path of yoga. And it didn't take very long until my heart was like calling me. It was like, I can't wait to share what I'm learning with other people. I can't believe I've gone my whole life without anybody teaching me these things. And something specific that touched me very deeply, that these teachers at the Summit YMCA, by the way, not even a yoga studio, many of them anyway, would read poetry at the end. And they would share poems from the sacred Sufi poets. And these words were like a language, a forgotten language inside me that was brought back to life. And the practice brought me back to life. And so when I hold space for someone, it's not just teaching stretching or breathing techniques. It is holding sacred space for someone to tap into that deeper truth, that inner light, that divine nature that we all have inside. So that's how it started. And it's just continued to blossom every year from then.
Wow, this is powerful because, having been on this earth quite some time, what did you say? How you breathe is how you live. Yeah, I was living a very short life. I did. I had a guy on my show he specialized in breath work. And like you said, a deep, full breath that you've never taken before. And I went right there and thought, wow, the stress just left me. And I felt so like renewed. So everything you're saying, and I know I'm saying all this because there will be those, some people watching and or listening that might go, oh, this is a bunch of woo-woo come on, breathing and being, getting in touch with yourself and your feelings. And you haven't said those words, but it's about really discovering who you are and what you really want, which many of us have not given ourselves the time to do, nor dare I say, nor did we know how to. And that's why what you provide, Chara, is so valuable. And I know this without even having worked with you personally, that what you do is you change lives for the better. You help them to change their life for the better. You're a conduit for them. You just happen to know the techniques. Now, look, there are many recipes for success out there. There are many recipes. There's neurolinguistic programming. There's all kinds of different ways to achieve different levels of success. Why not give just about every one of them a go? I did NLP. I'm certified in NLP. I thought that changed my life. Then this guy did this breath work stuff on me. I'm like, wow. And then there's this EFT and now yoga. And the way you describe it is different than I've heard before, because you take through all the elements, I think, of how yoga was originally intended to be utilized. More now it's just stretching, moving. And I will say, I have never sweat so much doing so little, which appears to be so little, in my entire life. Yoga is not easy. And it's amazing. Oh my gosh. So Joel has some kind words to say. Joel Solomon says, Chara is the mystical, magical meditation and yoga teacher and poet laureate for the multi-millions. I call her M8. Very nice. Joel, you're a great guy. And Dewey, I'll just say Dewey Lim. I don't know how to say the middle name. Miley, maybe? Lim. Aloha from Hawaii. Aloha. How are you doing? Yes. Great to have you all here. Yeah. And so thank you for that background. Yeah. It's interesting when the reason you found your calling of something you love to do is because not that you went down and did something you've done over and over and over again. It's because you said it. You didn't even know what yoga was. You didn't even know anything about it. And I don't know if you said it that exact way, but you were new to yoga. You decided to give it a try and it changed your life forever. You now have a thriving business as a result. You now change lives as a result. I mean, how does that feel? Like, really, how does it feel?
So many things. It feels amazing. It feels big, like responsibility isn't quite the right word, but like a calling. It feels like this is what I am here to do. And so this is, I feel like the great creator is counting on me. So, fulfilling that is important. And it feels like an honor. It feels like an honor. And you touched on something, Brian. It's like, I could see at first glance, people might be like, yeah, but how does this relate to business? And I want to mention something that I didn't know about called an inner blueprint, or in Sanskrit, it's called your dharma. And your dharma is the inner blueprint of who you are created to be and what you are created to do. And it would be very similar to, let's just take a rose seed, that inside the rose is a blueprint for the full plant's potential. And when that seed is nurtured, it can grow, blossom, and bring forth all that it was created to be. And similar, we have an inner blueprint. But most of us have not been taught how to nurture that, how to give that space to blossom. And so we get all this conditioning imposed onto us as to what we should be doing and what the definition of success is and who we're supposed to be and what we should do. And it's no wonder we feel pressured, we feel anxious, we feel stressed, we feel like constantly going after the money piece of business. And it's because somewhere along the line, we've gotten out of alignment with that deeper truth. And that's why it feels so amazing. That's why I call the practice that I do Soul Path Yoga. And it's actually spelled SOL because it's the illuminated path. It's your unique, one and only illuminated path. And when you're on that path, you feel empowered. And magic happens because it's truly where you're meant to be. So things align for you. Blessings align for you. Opportunities align for you. Collaborations align for you. Because you're truly fulfilling what you're here to do. And if you build your business on that, you can never go wrong, is my belief.
I love it. Jella, whoa, Jella Alonso says, hi, Chara, hi, Brian, Alonso, and Rapada's families.
Hello.
It's a family
Welcome.
love fest. I love it. Thank you for coming on. And we love participation, questions, soul path yoga. I noticed that about the first word. I'm like, wait a minute, that means the sun. That's not the soul, but it's dual meaning. I see where she's going. That's really cool. And so, yeah, I actually want to do that. I want to pivot right now. This is a great time to do it. If you don't mind, Chara, what I'd like to do is literally pull up your website, the visual representation of it, and ask you what kind of, who is your target market from a business standpoint? Like who are your clients? And they don't have to be business people, just curious for your business. And then, are they only women, or do you target only women? Do you target only men? Do you target just a specific age group, corporations versus individuals, that kind of thing? And then what is it that you do in a little bit more detail? Like if someone were to come to you and say, Chara, what do you do? I want to see if you're a fit for me. That's part two. There's a third part. And then if you have a success story or two you'd like to share, because people love stories, so do I, that would be awesome as well. Would that be all right?
Absolutely. You may have to remind me and go through each of the questions again.
Yeah, I kind of laid it on you. Yes, so I'll bring up your website. So what is it you do? Or no, who is your target market? Who do you cater to?
Okay. So this is such an important question when you're thinking about business. And I have had several people periodically help me with marketing. And they each had a different philosophy. Like one marketer was very specific and said, you want to have one person and you want to give them a name and you want to, how old are they and where are they from, and give them this whole story, and you just market to that one person. And I've had many people give me advice on this. Honestly, from my heart, I market to people. It is mostly women, but not only women. It is mostly middle-aged, but really varies from anyone in their 20s to anyone in their, even up to 80, 90. But the key distinction for me is a person who feels on the verge that they are ready, like their soul is ready for some kind of an awakening. That's who I want to work with. Now, can I help somebody who's feeling stressed and anxious and they just want to stretch and they just want to breathe? Yes, I can. But truly, it's that person who has a longing in their heart, a knowing that there is something beyond this human experience that they are ready to awaken to. That's who I want to work with.
Fantastic. And then as far as details of, say, what is it that you take an individual through? Like if they said, Chara, what is it you do? What would you do for me? And how's that going to happen? What are we going to do?
Yes.
Time together.
So first, I love to talk to people and just get a sense of where they are, where their heart is, and what they feel they need. And I have a number of offerings that may support them. So certainly one is Soul Path Yoga, and we can do that in any number of ways. I teach virtually, so anyone anywhere in the world can do Soul Path Yoga, and that is first of all, you can start for free. And anyone listening today, I'm giving 3 months of Soul Path Yoga, 3 month subscription. All you have to do is email me. We'll talk. I'll send you the links and make sure we get you all set up. And that's a great way to start. A group class is a great way to start. Then there's some people who say, well, I don't want to be in a group. I want to be by myself and I want you just to focus on me. And we can do a private session. And that works really, really good. When I get to work with someone private, there's always a bit of check-in, and we can always add more reflection, add other techniques in. So private sessions are one of my favorite ways to work with people. In addition, I teach life programs. I teach an 8-week optimal life program that leads into the second level, which is dream life. And I'm currently creating the One Life program. And these are levels. And in these programs, we teach mindfulness techniques, but in a much more accessible, fun way. And we teach inspired living. We teach mind mastery. We teach manifestation. And we teach connecting to the divine so that you have universal support throughout your journey. We teach healing techniques in these courses. Yep, that's the life program page. And Brian, I am working on some new offerings because one of the things I love to do is write and publish books. I've published 3 books.
Ooh.
My last 2 books are sacred poetry books combined with sacred self-images. And I'm creating an offering where I'm going to take people who are ready through a process of creating their own sacred self-image with me, and also the option of having a sacred soul poem channeled specifically for them. So that's a really fun new offering for anybody who might be interested. And certainly my books are available on Kindle and on Amazon as a hard copy. And they are full of inspiration.
Fantastic. Do you have one handy there with you?
I do. This is my latest book.
Very prepared. I love it.
Yep. This book became a bestseller. Oh. And it's entitled Love. And if I may, just to give the audience a sense about this, and also just to tap into your heart, and whether or not you're called to get the book, these words I think are very powerful. And it says that this book is an invitation. And really all my offerings are an invitation to slow down and listen to your heart. It's less about romantic love and more about exploring love and romancing your own soul. I chose the title Love because there's nothing more profound, powerful, magical, and divine. Love is the greatest teacher and healer, and it's the greatest catalyst for creation and transformation. When it comes to love, we are never done. There's always an opportunity for a new beginning and a new level of learning. Therefore, this book and any offering I present to people is an entryway into the labyrinth of love's infinite nature. Now is the time to love ourselves, one another, and our world fiercely and tenderly. The more we allow love to be our intention and motivation, the more certain we are to live extraordinarily blessed lives.
That is powerful. It's like that is just fantastic, because it's like you gave the definition for love, but there is no one definition for love. And it can continue on for quite some time beyond even that, what you just wrote. And as you're saying all these different descriptions and ways of depicting what love is, it was like, wow, yeah. I'm thinking of agape love and things that are biblical, and it's just, it hit the chord right there. It was fantastic. Thank you for sharing that. Oh my gosh. Yes.
May I, Brian, just mention, that can sound well and good, but how it relates to business. We've all heard do what you love, that entrepreneurs, should be doing what they love, and then, success is guaranteed. Well, maybe or maybe not. But I think the key point in that reading is when love is the motivation, when it's the intention, when your goal is to love and be loved and bless and be blessed and be of service with your unique gifts in your unique way, then I think you start out as a success. It's already successful, no matter how it unfolds.
When love is the motivation. Now, I told you earlier that I had this little thing where I'm dropping bombs. I'm not going to do that on this show. It doesn't fit. This is fantastic. You are dropping some incredible nuggets of value, of wisdom, of love, and I appreciate that so much. It is such a great message. Patty, Lipstrew. I hope I said that right. That's so good, Chara. Jillian Keller, lots of love. 3 hearts. Chara's classes are life-changing. Joel is chiming in again. Chara's love poem book is awe-inspiring. I'm not a poem lover, but I couldn't put this book down, and I read it in one day. I cried, in parentheses, bawled, and laughed out loud. Man. So, Joel, I'm in the same boat, so I'm going to have to pick that book up and read it. Because just like Chara did, by example, she did something she normally wouldn't do, and that was she partook yoga. And now her life is, she's not just her life, but everyone she touches, her lives are changed because of her and that one action. And then Ian North says, my Auntie Milagros loved the book Love. Thanks, Chara, for helping me put it into her hands. Woo, man, I love it. Thank you all for coming on. And if you have questions for Chara, please drop them in the comments as well. If you're on LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, we're on a lot of different platforms right now as we stream live, and appreciate all of you for coming on and participating very, very much. And that just goes to show what an amazing individual Chara is and how many lives she has impacted and continues to do so. And that's why I wanted her to showcase her talents and what she does. And I didn't forget the third part, Chara, and I'm not going to let you go on that one. Well, I'm just having fun with you. And that is, you know, people love to hear success stories. People love to hear what changes were brought about in, you know, that were great, like from zero to hero stories. You know, we all love those. It doesn't have to be from zero. It doesn't have to be to hero. But did you have somebody that came in that was maybe lost, not they hadn't found their way. They were looking, they were asking you, saying, I'm that person. I need clarity. Do you have one in mind that you could share a story of how they came in, where they were at? You don't have to share their name, and then what the result was and how their life has changed since?
Yes. First of all, my own has changed. But this is a story of just recently, within the last 6 months. I have a good friend who takes my yoga classes and has done my Optimal Life and Dream Life programs. And she has a best friend who has a daughter in her 30s, has a family, full life. And this beautiful young woman was struggling so deeply, like just kind of fell rock bottom, some challenging traumas from her past, mindset, as you said, Brian, old conditioning, old limiting belief systems, like just to the point where she felt hopeless and in despair and desperate for help, and was reaching out for help for so many years, but for whatever reason, the help wasn't working. So my very good friend said, you have to call Chara. And I give my client, this young woman, so much credit because she did. As you said, Brian, she took the action. She called me. We talked for about 45 minutes. And through her tears, I felt her heart. I understood her story. And we set up a plan. And I've been working with her twice a week, privately, for the last 6 months or so. And in 6 months, the transformation in this woman is mind-blowing. And she will tell you herself that she is moving from that that self that was so down, so in the dark, to feeling hopeful, to feeling empowered. And we use the word sovereign, to becoming a sovereign woman in her life who knows where her control lies over her thoughts, her mindset, her words, her actions, her responses, her focus. And we are practicing every time we're together through different modalities, soul path yoga, through, she's almost done with the Optimal Life program now. And I kind of just work intuitively with her, and we'll include other things. Sometimes we'll do an oracle card reading. Sometimes we do hands-on healing. I'm also a Reiki practitioner, third level Reiki practitioner. So I let her tune into her heart and let her decide what feels like a yes. And we design the sessions together. And I tell her every time how astounded I am with her progress. But here's the thing. I cannot take credit for this. The credit goes to her for her willingness and her commitment and her dedication to her practice. I cannot do anything for anybody without that.
It's so true. They have to be open and willing to do the work, because work is involved. They have to go through and do something they've probably never done before, which causes discomfort, which means they're going in the right direction, but they don't know that yet. It takes, right. And that's why it takes someone who's ready. I mean, literally ready. That's what being ready means, is you're going to do some things that might feel uncomfortable, not like physically, but maybe yoga's involved, but not necessarily. But you know, I forgot who coined this term, but we always say, get in the habit of, get comfortable with being uncomfortable. In other words, make it a practice to do something to stretch yourself each and every day. Go do something different that you haven't done before. It doesn't have to be a massive thing. It doesn't have to be like take up yoga and you've never done it before. That's quite a shift. But I'll tell you, I don't know what kind of yoga. I know there's a lot of different variations of that as well. But the one I did was literally from a DVD series, workout series called P90X, and it kicked my butt. I mean, it was difficult. Some of the moves I couldn't, many of the moves I couldn't do. I'm not a flexible person, but the end result was unbelievable. Just the physical part of it, just that by itself. I can imagine going through any of your programs, but yoga included, where you're making, your body is feeling fantastic when you're done. You're limber. You're I don't know how to explain it. It feels good when you've done yoga, and the results are pretty lasting. I remember getting on a golf course and I'd changed nothing except I was doing yoga, and I was hitting the ball a good 20 yards farther on every drive. And I just looked at my dad. I said, it's got to be the yoga. I have changed nothing else. I'm just more fluid and limber physically, but that also helps with your mind, because the mind and body are a team. And I know I'm preaching to the choir. Chara should be teaching this. So I'm going to be quiet for a little bit. So
just
yeah.
a little bit.
Yoga is phenomenal. And then the fact that the other thing I wanted to point out is I love how you are not just focused on one single craft. You mentioned Reiki. That means you have been out there and looking for additional ways to improve and make even more whole and complete what you are doing for people. So I commend you for that. That is amazing. You put in the time and effort so that others could reap the rewards. And it's obviously showing with all the people coming in and commenting and saying just that very fact. So kudos to you. You're one of the very few. There are some out there. You're one of the very few that takes your craft and then builds on it with other like crafts or others that supplement and complement what you've already done as your core to make it an even better result and experience for your clients. So appreciate you for doing that.
Thank you, Brian.
Yeah, it's so obvious and so apparent. It's like, and written three books. Goodness sakes. Oh man. I literally just, it's been about a month ago. I just submitted my first manuscript that took over. Yeah. And I started it. I'll say I started it over 10 years ago. I didn't work on it the whole 10 years, but I'm actually glad it worked out that way, because the experience I gained in that 10 years, I was able to knock it out at the end. So yeah, I'm really excited for that.
Congratulations.
But thank you. But to do 3 of them, I always heard like after the first one, the others come easier. Is that true?
They do.
Oh,
you know what?
Good.
I can only say, though, I haven't written like a long novel. My first book, it's 12 empowering messages for children and teens, really anyone's age, but it's written in a very accessible way. And then my next 2 books are sacred poetry books. So I didn't discover that gift until a few years into yoga and into teaching, and it started flowing through me. I didn't even know that that was a gift I had, which is another benefit of yoga. It starts activating latent gifts that you may not know you have, latent capacities that you may not know you have. And of course, that is very helpful in business. Latent talent, superpowers that you have inside you that become activated because you mentioned the movements, Brian, and of course the breath. And I'm going to go out on a limb and say your golf game improved not only because of the stretching and you're more limber and more flexible. Yes, that's part of it. But you are also more connected to your higher self. You're more connected to life and the universal energy of life. And therefore, everything becomes more in a flow. Everything becomes less of a struggle and more easeful. That's actually what the word yoga means, uniting your individual self with the universal.
And it makes total sense. I was a certified personal trainer for some years, and I know for a fact that the mind and body are so intertwined that any improvement made to one causes a ripple effect to the other in either direction. And so I always say, why not make it both directions so you can really live your best life possible? And I can see that completely and totally. Jillian Keller says, Chara yoga changed my life. Her programs and her spiritual energy are enlightening. Love to you both. Oh, that's very nice, Jillian.
Thank you, Jillian. And Jillian is a super success story. The courage and commitment to her practice, she is a testament. She's also a yoga teacher, and I go to her now. When I need wisdom, I go to Jillian now.
I have a really, really close friend. Going to give him a shout out, Daniel Aaron, who's also a yoga instructor. And I didn't know much. He lives in Hawaii. I haven't met him in person yet. It feels like it, like we're brothers that were separated. And I saw some video of this guy, and I'm like, how do you do those moves, bro? It was like, wow. It hurt my shoulders to watch him, and he did it effortlessly. So I love it when, I've seen so many people say, I do this, I do that. And then you watch them and you go, did you just start and you're calling yourself an expert now? Well, I could tell that you are, and I could tell that Daniel definitely was too, because I've seen his movements. Like, man, there are so many moves to this day. I did yoga quite a bit on that program, P90X. I never could get through all of them ever. I got better, but I am not built for flexibility. That's okay. I'm fine with that. It got better by far.
You better start Soul Path Yoga right away.
Hey, I got to the point where the first time in my life ever at the age of, it was around 47, I was able to touch my toes without bending my knees. First time ever. And that took some time. That's how unflexible I had been. And that was in the past. All right. Katrina Ferguson, I've followed Chara to 3 different yoga studios, and I do her online classes. I love Soul Path Yoga, all caps on the end. All right. Yes, serious fans. So what is there something unique about Soul Path Yoga? I know there is. The obvious answer is yes. As far as the movements are concerned, or is it you involve breath work and mind work more, or bringing it back to the way it used to be brought in the beginning? What makes it unique?
So the uniqueness is what I described about the principles. It's based on 12 foundational principles. And they are yoga principles. I did not make them up. They are the foundational principles of yoga. And they create integrity in mind, in body, in spirit, so that you can actually embody more life force, more love, more light, more creative power. It would be like if you took a bucket that had holes in it and you filled it with water, the water would keep flowing out. You wouldn't be able to hold it. And for a lot of us, myself included, there's always room for improvement. So these foundational principles really put me and all the students in integrity so that we can embody more of the universal love, more of the creative power. Now imagine how your business is going to flourish when you can hold and flow with more universal love and more creative power and support and creative genius inspiration. People always say, like, how did you come up with that? I'm like, all the credit goes to the divine. I'm just a channel. I'm just a channel, but the channel has to be in integrity. So everything in Soul Path Yoga is choreographed around that monthly principle. And year after year, we do these principles. And you might say, oh, I did that principle already. Well, the next year when it comes around, you're at a different level. You're going to be able to practice that principle at your next level. You're going to take it to a whole new place. And I appreciate that you gave me that affirmation, that you see in me that I evolve, that I add, I do things that are complementary. And I also collaborate with people who have complementary skill sets. And so getting back to the Soul Path Yoga, my style is a little bit slower. I lean toward the gentle. We might do things that are challenging. So sometimes people describe it as gentle, but not necessarily easy. In my virtual class, though, I keep it relatively gentle and simple because I'm not personally with that person. And my greatest goal is for everybody to feel safe. So we don't do anything too crazy in my virtual class. And even in my group classes, I'll see who's there. I'll see their level and I'll kind of push them a little bit. But in general, it's a meditative flow. It's breathing practices, meditation practices, and those foundational principles are all woven together in a way that is very self-empowering. And the goal would be to create oneness within yourself and oneness with the universal.
I love it. Yeah, and it sounds like, when people, when you're doing the same thing, but later they're at a different level, they get a different result and they grow even farther. That's where I like that one term, repetition is the key to mastery. And it's like another analogy is, how many people have ever read one book, more than one time? And then everyone would raise their hand and I say, okay, the second time you read that book, was it exactly the same? And every single person would shake their head no. And I would hold up a book and say, wait a minute, hold on a second. Let me just check. I'd open up the pages. Said, did the words on the pages change? Was it a different book? I mean, is it the same book? And they're all like, of course, no, it's the same book. So the thing that changed was you, and you were ready for the expanded version that didn't hit you the first time through. Just like what you're talking about, when it's time and you're ready for the next level, but you're doing the same thing. You're just going to get a different result out of it.
That's right. Now, Brian, do we have time for me to give the audience a little taste?
Yes, let's do that. I know. Oh my gosh, we are at the end time-wise, but we're not at the end because I'm not paying for studio time. So yes, let's do that. And then we have 2 gifts to give away, and I have a final question. So we still have a little bit to go here. So hope everybody can stick with us. So yes, take it away, Chara.
Okay, so today is a very auspicious day. Brian and I were talking about this before the show started, and it has everything to do with this month's Soul Path Yoga principle, which happens to be abundance consciousness. So it is spring, at least at the time of this recording. It is spring. There's an abundance of color, fragrance, beauty, like bursting through, an abundance of nature's goodness coming through. Yesterday was Passover. This weekend is Easter. We're in the middle of Ramadan, and people all over the world are celebrating in ways that are really beautiful, all about rebirth. And in addition, it's a full moon tonight, and it's my birthday this week. So there is a lot of like rebirth happening. So if you're watching today, even if you're watching the recording, you are here for a reason. There's this new level of you that is ready to come forward. So I'm going to invite all of us to just stretch your arms up, take up some space. We call this pose 5-pointed star, but with the audience here today, I'm going to say it's beyond a star. It's a supernova today. And then you can let your hands rest in your lap. You can soften or close your eyes and deepen your breath. And you might think, I thought we were doing yoga. Isn't that all about movement? Not necessarily. Just let your breath flow to you and to whatever degree you can through you. And our practice today is going to be unique It's going to be a form of yoga and meditation through sacred words. So I am going to read you a sacred poem that is perfect for this time of year. And for, as we said, this journey into our next chapter, into our next level, be that personally or professionally. And this poem is entitled Enlighten. So as I read it, let your breath flow. Let the words flow through you. And just be present with what may resonate in this moment. Enlighten. Invite a new breath. Invite a new moment of possibility. Plant a new seed of awareness. Plant a new seed of permission and self-care. Notice how even when storms are present, life still blooms. Life still evolves for the better. Life still reveals beauty. Spring is life's way of reminding us that we are reborn again and again. Now is our opportunity to let go of the weight of the world. Let go of self-criticism. Let go of shoulds. Let go of fear. Let go of the illusion of perfection. Now is our opportunity to let in life. Let in a fresh perspective. Let in the present moment. Let in an abundance of love and light. Now is your opportunity to say yes to health. Yes to fun. Yes to freedom. Yes to your heart's calling. Yes to true prosperity. And most importantly, yes to you. Take a full deep breath in, full deep breath out. And see how you feel. How do you feel, Brian?
Just amazing. That's all. Calm, replenished. Yeah. Feels good. I'm like, all right, the show's over. We're done. Good night.
So that's a sample of the type of feeling you would have in a soul path yoga class.
Interesting. I like it. It's very, very cool. And it's not painful at all in any way. And
No, we're pain-free. We believe in being pain-free.
that's fantastic. And so, yeah, we are reaching the end, but we do have a couple of gifts to give away. I don't want to leave because I promised that. First, let's go to yours. And by the way, I haven't mentioned that yet either. Her website is Chara.tv, and that's CHARA.TV. That is her website where we were talking about and showing it to those who are watching live. And if you're not watching this live and you happen to be listening on a podcast or maybe even watching this recording, don't forget to go to the mindbodybusinessshow.com and register. We just remind you of the show coming live, and you can interact and engage just like so many have here tonight. Thank you all for doing that. And then the actual gift that Chara is offering, she mentioned it earlier in the show. I'll let you go ahead and describe that briefly, Chara, and how people can reach out to you to get that.
Yes, it is a 3-month subscription to my virtual soul path yoga. So you can be anywhere in the world. And there is a certain time we do it live, but you don't have to watch it live. It's recorded. You can do the practice anytime, and you can go to the library. There's an extensive library of classes. You can do any class that sparks your heart. So that value is $111. I would love to practice with you, and I'm available. So when you come on early, I'm there. We can talk live. and I stay on after, and we could talk all things mind, body, and business. So that's one gift. And would you like me to say the second gift, Brian?
Oh, sure. I didn't know there was a second one.
There's a
But first,
second gift. First of all, how you get the 3-month subscription. Just go to chara.tv and email me, or email me directly at info@chara.tv. It's on my website, so if you forget, no worries, info@chara.tv. Email me that you want a link to the 3-month subscription. I'll send that to you. We'll talk. We'll make sure everything is connected and you understand how it works. So that's how you get that gift. And then also at Chara.tv, if you go right on the homepage, there is a complimentary life-changing meditation. It's my all-time favorite meditation entitled Breathe and Let the Magic Begin. So that's another second gift for you.
wow.
Oh, lastly, my love book, I put it on discount. I put it down to the lowest possible price on Kindle you can get, which is $2.99 because it's a full color book. It's on sale for $2.99 on Kindle on Amazon, and you can get it immediately. You can have it emailed to you immediately. It's on Amazon.
Wow. My goodness. She's just flooding us with gifts. I love it. Thank you so much.
You're
very,
welcome.
very kind of you. Fantastic. And we do have one more, and that is the vacation giveaway. It's a huge one. My goodness. Yes, a vacation stay, 5-night vacation stay at a 5-star luxury resort. You can actually choose a 4 or a 3-star. They do have those too. But literally anywhere in the world, there's many to choose from, as you saw earlier. And then we're going to ask Chara this one final question. And it's interesting. She's already touched on it several times during the show. But I'm going to ask her directly, and it's going to be wonderful and amazing, just as Chara is, because it's a profound question, and I love closing every show with it. But real fast, everyone that's watching, don't go to this website yet. Write it down, and then you can enter to win after the show's over. We'll be monitoring it. Don't worry, plenty of time. So what is that website to enter to win? It is now on your screen. For those of you watching live, ryp.im/vacation, ryp.im/vacation. After the show's over, write that down right now. And then after the show's over, head on over there, and it's real simple to enter. And just as an aside, you will also be automatically registered to get updates of when our show goes live each and every time. You can opt out anytime. It's fine. No worries at all. There's nothing for sale. All right. And then, it may be the end of the show. It's my favorite part of the show, not because it's the end, but because of this question that I am so blessed to be able to ask each and every guest. And so the cool thing about this question, Chara, is that there is no such thing as a wrong answer. It just flat out does not exist. It's because
I sip of water. Okay, I'm ready.
Well, the thing is, the exact opposite is true, is that the only correct answer is yours, because it's unique to you. And I've been doing this show for over 4 years, and the answers have been unbelievable. And I know yours will be too. And there's nothing to live up to. There is no failure. Every answer is correct. There is not a chance of failing. And it's going to be phenomenal. I already know it because I've asked this question many times. With all that buildup, are you sure? Are you really ready?
I'm ready. Let's do it.
Oh, I love it. Let me cue something up. Okay. All right, here we go. Chara Rodriguera, how do you define success?
Let me consult with my assistant here. Okay, we got it. This is easy. It's just one word, and that is bliss. Bliss equals success, your own peace and happiness, your own fulfilling your own potential, your own satisfaction, whatever brings you joy, that is success. And for me, being of service to others is what brings me the most bliss. So I would add others.
That is phenomenal and true to form, absolutely perfect. and also true to form for everybody who's been on this show, no two people have yet to answer that question the same way. It is mind-blowingly awesome, because the other great thing about it, Chara, is nobody used money as their focus for that answer. Not a single person, not one. One actually mentioned it, but the focus was only on the liberation it provided to do what they would make them happy. But they weren't money centric. That wasn't what they defined success as. And it's just like, oh, this is awesome. I am so like it's reassuring to hear this from so many people that they're not money centric. Go ahead.
I love that, Brian. And I love too that your audience can participate. So as you ask the question, everyone who's listening can answer that for themselves.
Absolutely. Yeah. Patty says, thank you. Lipstrew. I hope I'm saying that right. Michael Calderon. Well done, Chara. You are fantastic.
It's my Uncle Mike.
Oh, hey, Uncle Mike. How you doing? Love it. I love it. Yeah, don't forget to enter to win that vacation stay. That is a real deal. The sponsor himself has actually utilized that 3 different times. It is legit. You don't get whisked away to a timeshare, torture studio of any kind. It's a real legitimate vacation stay that you're another guest just like everyone else. So don't forget to enter to win. That is it. That is all we have time for tonight. Oh my goodness, Chara, you have been phenomenal, incredible, tremendous, and stupendous, all rolled into one. And I appreciate you for coming on. I appreciate you for spending your time. I know it's getting late there in New Jersey land. And I appreciate you for sticking it out with us here tonight. And my goodness, your joy for serving others, it just oozes and it's obvious. And I appreciate you for that.
Thank you, Brian. It's my pleasure. I so appreciate what you're providing here for all of us. It's really a gift. And thank you, everybody, for listening and watching and commenting. It was like just filled my heart to know you were here with me. Thank you.
Yes, I echo that. Thank you all. All right. On behalf of the amazing Chara Rodriguera, I am your host, Brian Kelly of the Mind Body Business Show. We will be back again very, very soon, usually every single week, with another fantastic episode. Until then, please do 2 things. Go out there and serve more people and crush it. And number 2, by all means, everyone, please be blessed. Take care for now. Bye-bye. Thank you for tuning in to the Mind Body Business Show podcast at www.themindbodybusinessshow.com. My name is Brian Kelly.